Well, we trade another 12 hours of life, of labor. I'm gonna trade my time for money, like most Americans do. It's a funny thing, really. I would say, what was it? Maybe 12, 13 years ago, I reflect on what I used to make. 12 or 13 years ago, when I was in my mid to maybe upper 20s, about mid 20s, I was making roughly about $30,000 a year, maybe a little less than that when I lived in Florida, leasing luxury apartments. And my wife then, who was my girlfriend when she moved down to Florida, together we were making about just a little over $60,000 a year. Didn't have much to live in. We were in a 881 square foot apartment. We didn't have much, but we were pretty happy, right? But, money obviously doesn't buy happiness, but it sure does make life a lot easier, right? And for the longest time, I wrote in my journal. I had a journal that I would always write in, and I always had the vision of making $100,000 a year, thinking, well, that's making it, right? Talk about a small thought, right? A limiting thought. But here I am now, 38, almost 39 years old, and I make roughly, and again, it varies from year to year because, again, I'm hourly, but I make roughly about $135,000 to $140,000 a year. And that's no slouch of an income. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, so that is our only income. We don't have two incomes like some coworkers of mine, but that is our only income. Now, I'm very thankful for that, and I am very grateful for the work, because all labor is good, right? And all work is good work, as God says in the Bible. And I might be slightly misquoting that, but if I recall correctly, there is somewhere in the scripture it says all work is good work. Over 12, 13 years ago, I had this idea of making $100,000 a year, and that would be me making it. Well, now here I am, right, several years later, and at about $135,000 to $140,000 a year. Now, why am I saying all this? Because with that comes at a cost of getting up 2:30 in the morning, going to work, to trade literally half my day away from home, away from my family. I have a newborn. I have an 8, soon to be 9-year-old this year, and my wife. So I have to spend half my day away from my girls to provide for them so they have a roof over their head. I trade anywhere between 60 to 65 hours a week out of how many hours are in a week? 168 hours a week. So I trade at least 60 every week, which leaves me 108 hours left. That's a lot of hours. 60 to 65 hours a week. I believe I'm a very intelligent man. I believe I'm a very smart man. And one thing that I'm doing my best at is to try to figure out how can I use my creativity, as Myron Golden always says, to leverage the gifts that I have, the skill set, and the tool set that I have, which for me would be video content, video creation. I have a studio, right? Do voiceover, love making videos. How can I leverage my skill set, my tool set, and skill set, tool set, and I forgot there's something else, but mindset, to be able to make a lot more money using my creativity. It's something that I think we all need to be thinking about. There's no reason we should be trading our time for money and spending the kind of time that we do just to provide for our family. I would love to do nothing more than to be with my family more and to be able to do more for myself, right? And for my family and for others, serve others. Again, this is not to complain. It's just to really shine a spotlight on, what it is that we do for our families. And all I'm saying is that there definitely has to be a better way. And I know there is a better way. Many people are doing it. As you can see, I'm a truck driver. I haul fuel for a major petroleum company. And I am very blessed for the opportunities that I have been given. But that said, I know I can make a whole lot more money. When I did the math, from 12, 13 years ago, I did the math. I have increased my income, thankfully, with the help of God, by over 316.67%. If I did that again, I could increase my income $575,000, give or take. Now, that's a lot of money for a year. But see, when I listen to people like Myron Golden and others. I mean, while that's still a decent income, it's still not a lot. Now, some of you might be wondering, yeah, well, what do you need all that money for anyways, man? Like, what exactly do you need all that money for anyway? Well, again, it gives me an opportunity to do more. I love giving. But it gives me more time to be with my family. I mean, think about it. What would you do with all that extra money? You would spend more time with your family. You would go see more of the world, right? And you would just do a whole lot more with your time, right? You do things that actually mattered instead of getting behind the wheel of a truck, in my case, and haul gas and ethanol. It's something to think about when you're going to work, especially for you men out there. You know, we bust our humps out there all the time. And we do what we have to for our families because it's what we have to do. Now, women have a very hard job too. Stay-at-home moms, look, major props for the stay-at-home moms out there. But at the end of the day, when there is only one income that we make, I'm telling you, it just falls on us men's shoulders. It's a lot. I just know that I have more potential, and if you're a man listening to this, I know you have more potential. You can do whatever it is you want to do. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing whatever I have to do to start up my own, media company called My View Media, and I'm going to be getting the LLC situated and put together. I can, get my side business up and going the proper way. We shouldn't be having to need to trade time. We shouldn't need to be having to trade time for an hourly pay. Like I said, I know I make a decent amount of money, and some of you might be watching this video and be like, Jason, what in the hell are you complaining about? You make a good income. Shut up. I only make $48,000 a year, and I'm struggling. Yeah, okay. And look, are we struggling? Absolutely not. Look, I have a decent car. My wife has a decent car. We have a nice house. We have a roof over our head, and we're able to provide food for ourselves and be able to get all our bills paid and still have a surplus at the end of the month to put towards savings and invest, right? If we wanted to put it towards silver or, the stock market or mutual funds or whatever, right? Or vacations, right? Make memories, invest in family memories. But at the end of the day, you could 10x that, 20x that, maybe even 100x that. People are effortlessly making $100,000 in a day. Now, I'm sorry, but I know I am intelligent enough to be able to do that as well. Just something to think about. It's something to think about for us men, okay? It's just one of those things that you just got to put your creativity to use. And I plan on putting my creativity to use and to figure out how I can increase my income over the next 10 more years, not just up to $575,000 a year, but beyond that. So anyways, God bless. And remember, you can make all the plans in the world. You can have all the goals in the world. But at the end of the day, God's plans are his plans, in his timing is what's ultimately going to prevail. So God bless and keep at it.